Okay, so Sonia and Maurice Sam are at it again. Oh my god, I love this. Have you seen the current movie showing on Uche Mbunabo's TV on YouTube titled Don't Judge Me? This movie features our two amazing actors, Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche. Yes, they played lovers in this movie and they played married couple, guys. You need to actually check this movie out if you are yet to see it. My God, what manner of sweetness did these people exhibit in the movie? Guys, nobody can tell me otherwise. Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche's chemistry is so organic. Hey, what manner of love, what manner of affection, what manner of care did these people give to us? Like, were they displaying actually, guys? I was really glued to my screen and I couldn't get enough of these two. Guys, now, Don't Judge Me is a movie directed by Omorumi Efosa Emmanuel, screenwritten by Amen Iguma, and to the screenwriter of this movie, you did a great job. Like the dialogues were detailed, very engaging. It had everything in it. The suspense was there. There were a lot of things that made this movie amazing. And to the amazing cast that were not there to sleep, they were there to work. They brought in their A games: Maurice Sam, Sonia Uche, Akim Ogara Adiza, Kara Heward, Joyce Robert. These actors in this movie were in their A games, guys. Now, for those who have seen this film, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this movie. First off, this is not a spoiler alert, all right? I am not spoiling this movie for those who haven't seen it, but for the people that have seen this film, come closer, let's gist about this. Now, Don't Judge Me tells the love story of Henry and Bella, characters played by Sonia Uche and Maurice Sam. These people are married couples and they were literally in love with each other so much. But then a particular situation arose and their love was tested. The character Henry, played by Maurice Sam, is a man who is a lover, a man who cherishes and adores his wife. He is willing to go all out for his wife, all out for the one he loves so much. And his wife actually knew that this my husband loves me so much. Like, this guy could literally lay down his life for his wife. That is how much Henry was in love with Bella. Henry is a jovial person. He laughs about things, he doesn't really take things so personal. And we have Bella, played by Sonia Uche. Bella is as well a lover girl. She loves her husband so much, but Bella is a bit uptight, in the sense that Bella literally takes things so personal. She takes things really seriously, all right? Like we saw in the scene where her husband came back home very late, and she was literally questioning her husband on phone, asking him why he came back home very late, locked outside his house, being questioned. She was putting off this serious, no nonsense, strict look that literally made me feel like, this lady is a tough one, all right? In as much as she is a lover, she is actually very tough. And she's also a lady who is so caring. No matter how annoyed she is or pissed she is, she cares for her husband, okay? When she knows that her husband is, feeling a certain way, or, he's not actually feeling good or feeling fine, she knows how to give that care amidst her anger. She knows how to express love. So these are two beautiful souls, married to each other. And we have Judith, played by Kara Heward. I hope that's the pronunciation. This is the most caring, beautiful sister in the whole world. Like, you see words, Judith had her sister's back. She was this supportive sister, this caring sister, the sister that would always call you to your wrong, speak to you, let you know some certain things before taking your decision or before taking actions. She's not the kind of sister that will discourage you on something, no matter how difficult it looks, okay? She's literally the sister that will sit you down and really talk to you one-on-one and give you the best advice ever. Okay, she was a very caring lady, and she was married to this guy called Louis, the love of her life, like the absolute love of her life. Now, that brings us to the character Louis, played by Akim Ogara Adeza. Like, this guy, this man is a really fantastic actor. He played the caring husband to Judith. He was also a very supportive brother-in-law, was a very supportive husband. He had the right things to say. He could give care, he could give love, and he could give audience. Yeah. So these two couples are just perfect couples, perfect match made from heaven. Their marriage was quite sweet. Their marriage was something that you will literally envy, all right? We also have the character doctor, played by Joy Roberts. Okay, so we didn't really get much of this doctor because of the role he played, but yeah, he did well as a doctor. He was able to give that doctor's attitude, doctor's vibe, and it was great. So overall, the actors in this film were amazing. Yes, they were. Now, back to the lead characters of this movie, Henry and Bella. Now, a problem arose. In fact, this is an unforeseen occurrence, okay? Her husband was literally diagnosed of an illness, and it took a toll on the both of them, and it literally shaken their marriage. Now the question is, if you were in that situation at which Bella was, would you actually stick to your husband, or would you rather leave? Okay, would you be there to fight it through him and say, you know what, F it. Okay, I am in this with my husband. I don't mind if I also get this thing or not, but you know what? I am sticking with my husband. I am doing my due diligence as a wife to my husband, and that on period. Or will you be like, I love my husband so much, but I cannot do this with him. No, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I am scared. Would you leave? All right. Now, I understood Bella perfectly. Every woman would be scared. Imagine your husband, carrying this very scary illness, and it is either you leave or you stay. What would you do? This your husband is someone that you know that you love him so much and he loves you so much, but then the situation is just so difficult. We saw how Bella struggled with her emotions, how she struggled with her new reality. And for every lady, there's always this fear, this fear in them. But then again, would you actually leave? Would you leave your husband because of that? Personally, I feel that if I'm in such situation, it will really tear me apart. Okay, it will really tear me apart. But then I don't think I would be willing, or I would be ready to leave my husband. No, because this is someone that I'm already attached to. This is someone that I love. This is someone that, if the table was turned around, he would be there for me. He would make sacrifices for me. So I feel like I would love him regardless, and I would, I'll bullshit everything, I'll F everything, and just act like we are normal couples. All right, we'll go through it together. Whatever thing we are facing, we would face it together. So that's what I feel I would do in that situation. Now, I love how Bella was able to rethink the whole thing, and she said, you know what, I'm going down. I'm going through this with my husband, and she did just that. And you all saw the outcome of it, the surprise, the shock, the revelation, and it was like, oh my God, thank God that she actually took such a decision, because imagine if she didn't, rethink the whole thing and later found out the truth. Imagine how that would have felt. So yeah, that's about that. And one thing that really made me so invested in these two people, Sonia and Maurice, my goodness, it was how, raw, how organic their chemistry was. Guys, you could see in their playful banters, in their arguments, their quarrels, their love. There is always this sweetness. There's always this spark that feels so natural, that feels so authentic, that feels so real. The way Maurice actually always treats Sonia in films, you'd be like, no, these people are not just acting. Like, these people are being themselves, okay? Because like the way they both connect, the way they both have these their playful banters, the way they both have this their arguments, the way they express love to each other feels so different. That connection they have, that bond they have, that spark they have is what literally brings out the beauty in the both of them. That is why people always get so invested. People actually feel what they are feeling. People go through what they are going through because they make us connect with them on a personal level. And I just love that about them. I'm gonna say this right now, and I don't think this is the first time I'm saying this, but I really admire Sonia, Uche, and Maurice's chemistry. Okay, I admire their love in film. I admire the both of them a lot. These people are beginning to look alike. And guys, did you see that these people actually got married a second time in this film? This movie is giving the vibes of Once Upon a Vow, okay? We saw in this one, they renewed their vow, okay? They renewed their vow, and it was just giving the vibes of Once Upon a Vow, okay? The movie felt like a part two of Once Upon a Vow, the whole marriage thing and the renewal of vow. Like, I really, really, really love this part. This particular part made me remember Once Upon a Vow, and I'm like, you know what? I love this story. Yeah. So guys, if you haven't seen Don't Judge Me, I feel like you need to see because it's a very amazing, super film. Okay, it is showing on Uchenna Mbonabo's TV on YouTube, and it is a great movie. Head along there and watch this amazing piece. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Substance TV for more amazing Nollywood reviews and gist. See you guys in my next video. Until then, stay splendid.